Hello everyone, welcome to Guiding Light Leadership, where we explore the transformative power of leadership practices in early childhood settings through an activist and advocacy lens. I'm Hiso, and today we will be talking about an exploration to understand how inclusion, advocacy, and leadership come together to build a better future for the children. Let's begin by introducing the heart of our discussion, leadership practices and the connection to activist and advocacy framework. The term advocacy and activism might seem out of place when considering the leadership of an early childhood facility. However, both advocacy and advocism actively work with each other to influence decisions that are in the best interest of children, their parents, and educator, and that promotes children's rights and social justice in the setting of early childhood development. But how do we ensure inclusivity? Relationships hold the key. Building connection with children, parents, and staff is essential for generating an inclusive environment. As we reflect on Jenny Clegg, every child has the right to a loving and secure family, a safe environment, and a broad education to develop meaningful relationships. This idea fits in perfectly with our activism and advocacy philosophy, since we try to foster not just academic development but also emotional well-being. Let's now investigate the concept of a teacher as an administrator and a leader. Imagine a lighthouse that shines its compass across the rough seas. In addition to teaching, it is our part of job as educator to lead and direct children through difficult situations. As a role of a teacher, we embrace continuous quality improvement through an ongoing process of preparing, reviewing, and assessing that involves strategic leadership and efficient administrative processes. Moving forward, let's now explore the complex interaction between advocacy, activism, and administration. In their effort to promote inclusive standards, administrator and leader frequently assume the role of activists and advocates. We discovered that advocating includes questioning cultural norms that support inequality by building on Hooke's critical approach to teaching. With this approach, we can effect legislation and regulation that have an impact on the life of children. Let's move on to the most powerful leadership approach. Think of a lighthouse that is illuminated by lightning. This represents an inspirational leader who creates the road for others to follow in addition to advancing the organization. This method, which is based on philosophy of transformational leadership, fits nicely with an activist and advocacy framework, since it involves motivating and enabling people in bringing about change. We understand that engaging leadership practices act as a foundation for achieving inclusive education, as we see the lighthouse. Inspirational leaders encourage their team and students to take charge of their educational path and prioritize learning that begins with the child. Lastly, let's now get started with some self-analysis. Which leadership technique best appeals to you? I really relate to the idea of a lighthouse. This practice supports my belief that leadership is about more than simply directing the ship. It's also about creating passion and giving people the guidance they need to thrive, as we see the administration as a component of our leadership roles and beliefs. The value of individual freedom in education, we see that leadership as providing the framework essential to foster the development of the children. This viewpoint encourages synchronization between our function as administrators and our activism and advocacy focus. Thank you for your participation in this journey as we explore leadership, activism, and advocacy in early childhood settings. Remember, by turning these ideas into reality, we became advocates of change, guiding children towards an inclusive, hopeful, and successful future.